Hello Pokemon fans, this is ProPokeNoob, back today to bring you the final battle, finally, of the RU Chronicles. If you guys are tired of RU by now, I don't blame you. I honestly do not blame you. These are very old battles. Thank you very much for anyone who did watch through the entire series. If not, not a big deal. This, again, is just something I wanted to get done months ago. I couldn't get it done, and I figured these were very good battles that had quite a bit of theory crafting behind them and stuff like this. Plus, I'm proud of this team. I'm honestly very proud of this RU team. It did what it had to do for the time. We got up to 2,000 coil with it, which is really not that bad. And it was, and my record was something like 34-16 or something like that. I did very, very well on the ladder. So I was proud of myself, people. This is more or less for me. It's not so much for you, it's for me. But, I mean, it's always for the viewers. Everything is for you guys. Don't worry about that. I'm allowed to have one thing once in a while, right? I don't know what this voice is, but that's okay. Because my voice hasn't changed very much. Anyways, we have a battle, don't we, ProPokeNoob? Yes, we do. Yes, quite. Okay, so now you're terrified. This is against a person by the name of Grundlehog26. I've chosen this as the final battle because, one, it was the last battle, and ended up being a perfect example of offense versus defense, and this was the entire friggin' definition of the RU metagame, okay? This is what it came down to. Trick Room, Stall, Offense, Hyper Offense. You're going, well, ProPokeNoob, that sounds like 4 normal teams. You have no idea how the same most of the teams came on, because people are just looking for coil. They're looking for the best ways to get the teams, or to get the points going here. So, let's put it this way. His team can wreck my team if I don't put in the proper switches. I have to actually play slightly more aggressive against this type of team in order for him not to destroy me. Scyther hurts. Mega Pidgeot hurts. Even Hitmonlee. Hitmonlee is also a threat, and again, this Rotom Mow has caused me problems. Most of them are Choice Scarf, so I have to be very cognizant of that. Now, you also have to take a look at the fact that I don't have a lot of time in here to really, like, I have to either predict him, because he's got, first of all, potentially 5 Volt Switch turning people here. I got 5 Volt Turners here. Everything except Hitmonlee can give him switching priority, which is like, oh my god, it's Wild Chase all over again. But the important thing here is if I can predict that, or if I can just put in proper things and not let him continuously get advantages over me, that's the way I'm going to win this. So, I'm going to lead off with Drapion. Best lead against all this. He is going to lead off with a Scyther. Perfect. He's going to go for the U-turn. No big deal. I believe I'm going to go straight for a knockoff here. Try and cripple something immediately. He's going to go right into his Gligar. I do get the Eviolite off. And as I've told you before, Eviolite needs to be off in order for me to kill the Gligar. Now, most of the time, if I recall, it's about 90% that I can do with a Hurricane. Does end up going for his rocks. I do go into this, and I will outspeed him anyways. And Hurricane is a one-shot, ladies and gentlemen. That is huge, because now I don't have to worry about one U-turning Volt Switching guy, but the rocks will be up there, no big deal. He's not going to get him up, so if I spin away, I'm in good position. Unfortunately, because his team has so much switching priority, I'm not going to be able to keep him on top out there safe enough to ever do it. So, he's going to bring in his Pidgeot. At this point, I'm just going to let him kill off the Drapion. It's not a big deal. Drapion actually did one of the biggest favors to me, which is take out the Gligar. So, I'm going to go to Registeel now. You're about to see why Registeel and Regirock were used. This is the Heat Wave damage. That's only 140 EVs in Special Defense with max HP. So, not going to do a heck of a lot to me. I'm going to predict him to want to go for U-turn and not Hard Switch here. So, what I'm going to do is just go for the Protect, get some extra recovery here with leftovers. And then now what I can do is actually go for the Seismic Toss. Now, the reason why I'm going for Seismic Toss, if you look at his team, he's got 2 Electric types which cannot be paralyzed, and then he has a Hitmonlee. His best switch in here is Hitmonlee, and I was fearing Limber. So what I'm going to do is go for the Seismic Toss. Hitmonlee doesn't have a lot of HP, so this Seismic Toss is going to do a lot of damage to it. In fact, it does a lot, like almost half. So now, he's got High Jump Kick. I'm going to go for Protect on the off chance he wants to go for High Jump Kick. He knows I have Protect though, so he is going to go for the Rapid Spin. And at this point, I don't see what item he has. So I only find out now that he is Life Orb. So he is going to spin away the rocks. Not a big deal. I am going to have Seismic Toss. Bring him down to the point where if he hits me, he's going to die to his next attack. And here I try to play the High Jump Kick Protect game, and it doesn't work out for me. I predict him to try and out-predict my Protect, and he wins that mind game. So he does end up killing me with a High Jump Kick. It will take him out as well, so it's not that bad, but it would have been nice to actually win that war, but I was gonna try and go for like double protects. That was my thought problem. Like maybe he's gonna go for this, and then I'll predict him next turn. So he could just keep going for rapid spins to the point where he could just high jump kick. But I thought I could catch him with that. Regardless, he's gonna go for trick and give me a Choice Scarf Cresselia. This is not that bad because I'm max special attack modest nature. I was appreciative of this, and he realizes after that, wow, my Rotom-Mow is not taking hits very well. Well, yeah, because I'm friggin' scarfed. So his Leaf Storm's gonna do next to nothing to me. I'm just gonna take out Rotom-Mow for free. Which I will say for free. I will say for free because it didn't do much to me. Now he is going to bring in the Pidgeot. I am going to save this thing for later because having this thing Scarf will take out that Choice Banded Scyther because I know it's Choice Banded by that damage. He is going to go for the U-turn, and this is going to be difficult to keep him down because he does have 3 switchers. He does have 3 momentum switchers, so I have to figure out how to actually get in on this. I go to Mega Pidgeot because I know he's going to go for U-turn. I can take it up relatively well. It's not the greatest, but he is going to switch out into his Electro, so it's basically a game of trying to be a little bit more aggressive with him here. So I'm going to go for U-turn. I'm going to go into my, I believe, Cresselia, and I believe he just goes for Volt Switch? Yeah, he just goes for Volt Switch. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, well, he's probably just going to go into Mega Pidgeot, but I am Scarf, so hopefully I can outspeed it. Even with the 64 speed investment, it's not going to do anything. So I'm like, okay, well, Cresselia is not going to do much to me against this. It's 3v3. I have the most important Pokemon up. So now, Slowking comes in. I have to keep Slowking healthy for both Electros and Pidgeot. So he is going to go for the U-turn as I predicted. I believe I go for the Fire Blast, predicting the Scyther to come in. And I do actually catch the Electros here. No, I go for Scald. Oh, smart on me. Smart play on me. And I do get the burn. Now, this burn is actually important, as you will see later, because, again, Electros is probably a Salt Vest. He's very bulky. It's very hard for the rest of my team to take him out. So I am going to switch into Hitmontop, and he actually reveals the knockoff, which I did not see coming. It makes sense because Electros is kind of like the Jirachi, like I've said before, where he can just do a lot for your team and be a lot of that support. But I am going to spin it with the rocks, and this is very important that I do get this off so that Mega Pidgeot and Slowking can continue to stay healthy enough to take out the rest of his team. Because at this point, if you take a look at the teams here, Mega Pidgeot can outspeed Scyther as long as it doesn't have Quick Attack. If it's Choice Banded Quick Attack, I'm pretty much toast. As long as I get Electros low enough with somebody, I can take it out with either Slowking or Mega Pidgeot. So it's going to have to be Slowking that most likely comes in, takes a hit with the Assault Vest because I wasn't knocked off in this game, and then I'll be able to weaken it to the point where I can kill it. And then Mega Pidgeot, it's going to have to basically come down to either Slowking taking a hit and going for the Ice Beam, or it's going to have to be a speed tie. But the problem is I have to get at least 27 or 28% of damage on the Pidgeot. It has to, because Hurricane does about 75% to each other. So I have to get at least the equivalent of Stealth Rock damage onto Pidgeot. Fast for you? Good, because this is very fast-paced. I'm going to switch out, going to Slowking. So I'm like, okay, I can take a Hurricane, not a big deal. But he gets the Confuse. I'm like, oh, dear God. If I actually hit myself in Confusion, this would be game. So he is going to go for a U-turn. He's going to go out into his Electros. I predict the Scyther again. This time I predict the Scyther. And I go for the Fire Blast, ladies and gentlemen. I am confused. And I actually hit the Electros. And because of the previous burn, God bless the previous burn from that Scald damage, I am going to be able to take out the Electros. Now, if Scyther did come in and I burned that, that would have basically been game. So, luckily for him, I burned the Electros. But I did go for the Scald because I did want to burn the Scyther before because I thought, you know, hey, maybe he will switch into Electros, and Scald will be my best play. Now I'm remembering. This is coming back to me. Hitmontop is the next best threat here because he is going to go for the Scyther here. I'm going to go for the Intimidate, and I'm going to use Hitmontop as death fodder so I can switch in Slowking safely so it doesn't have to tank damage before it takes on one of these two Pokemon. So at this point, I need Mega Pidgeot to kill off the Scyther, and I need Slowking to kill off the Pidgeot. That's basically, like, his Mega Pidgeot's now threatened by my Slowking. So, in theory, this is in the bag. Now, oh no. Oh my God. So, when this happened, oh my God. Oh my God. Because, I mean, you know, this happens, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's awesome, and that's, oh. Oh my God.